I am so sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
Yes, so sorry about that. I thought that I clicked download after the interview, but the box wasn't clicked.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
my
all good.
bad. So
All good. Yeah, actually, I just look at it like a warm up.
yeah.
Yeah, look at it like a warm up, and I know because I know there's some key points and stuff that I left behind too. So maybe we could hit those points this time.
Cool. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Mike Prophet Strong. So before we even get to the prophet part, let's take it back to Mike's childhood. How was it like growing up in a Bay Area?
Oh damn, this call just came in. Oh Jesus.
In high school, now take the
Let
call.
me just tell him I'll call him right back. Hello. Hey, Miss Chris. Yeah, I just got an email. I probably think that y'all might need to check out. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, I'll tell you right now. Give me 1 second. Yes, it's I actually took a picture of it and I actually took a picture of it and sent it to you. Hey, Crystal, I you think I can call you back in like 30 minutes? I got like an interview I need to knock out real quick. Or if, okay, thank you. Yeah, that was my money on the phone.
Oh no,
I had
my
to
bad
knock
about
that
that.
out.
So we can knock it out in 30 minutes. We're
No,
good.
no, no. Hey man, let's we good. We good. We solid. I knew that number. I seen that, but I seen when you see Beverly Hills, you pick it up.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Mike Prophet Strong. So, before we get to the prophet, let's take
What's
it back
up?
to Mike. Mike from Bay Area. How was
Yeah,
it growing up in the Bay Area?
man, growing up in the Bay Area is like nothing you've ever seen in your life, nothing you've ever experienced. If you're from anywhere else, the Bay Area, I like to call it the South meets New York meets the West Coast. It's like the South in New York had a baby.
Oh,
I grew up in a little small town called Vallejo, California. Shout out to E40 707. I was
versus.
born in, I'm trying to tell you, I was born and raised in Vallejo, grew up in Fairfield. You know what I'm saying? But I like to say I was born and raised in the Bay, became a man in LA. You feel me?
Hmm.
So I grew up military. My mom was born in Japan, raised in Ethiopia. Both of my grandparents on both sides were Army, Navy, and Army and Navy. Um, Pops, he was serving. We went on a long vacation.
Yeah.
Went on a long vacation for about 26 years, and when he came home, it changed my life. So yeah, growing up in the Bay was cool though, man. It's different in the Bay Area. We do things a
Yeah.
little different. You know what I mean?
Right. E40. Tell them where to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
So, growing up, who influenced you? Like, who did you watch on TV that inspired you and that made you want to go into the showbiz industry?
Well, it's crazy. As a kid, as a kid, I used to just MC. I used to MC on a mic. I was spirit commissioner, things like that. I didn't necessarily have my eyes set on the entertainment business because I grew up in a small town, so it was like that really wasn't something that was on the radar. It was either sports, military. It was either sports, military, or go off to school or business or something like that. But the people that I could say that influenced me growing up to just be an extraordinary individual was the Mikes and all that's the Mike Tysons, the Michael Jordans, that's the, you know what I'm saying, the Michael Jacksons, the, you know what I'm saying, the Michael Phelps, the all of those Mikes that had a big influence. Um, you know, like I would take something from Mike Tyson, his tenacity, you know what I'm saying, his the way he moved. The way he fights, the like something about just his zone, just like it does something for me. Mike Jordan, he was a he was a he was a technician. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
And
Mike
then
Jack,
speaking of Michael Jordan, we'll get to that later on, but continue.
yeah, we will. Um, and the good old Michael Jackson, man. Michael Jackson was, I'm talking about. I was that kid in the living room, you know, hitting the moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? I was the one trying to hit 4 or 5 spins, you know, executing moves and dance moves. And, you know, it was all entertainment, man. But those were the people who really had a lot to do with it, influencing me on my upbringing.
So take us to your very first gig that you booked and how did you prepare for it?
Well, I've been doing this a long time. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. To me, would be a long time. My first major gig came about 15 years ago for Nike. I did at that time, one of Nike's biggest budget commercials ever.
Wow.
And rest in peace to my coach, Coach Prime. If it wasn't for that gentleman right there, he was my track and field coach because I was training to be a professional athlete at the time, and I was going through a hard time. You know, I was my girl at the time. She was pregnant with my second child, and and he was like, "I want you to go to this audition, and I want you to just do what you do." And it was more stunts. It was more stunts type, and that commercial changed the game for me. It changed my life. It changed my purpose. That you asked me earlier, um, what was the thing that sparked me to want to do this? It wasn't anything from back then. It was really at that moment when I didn't feel like I was at work.
Wow.
I feel like I was with the guys. I feel like we was accomplishing something each shot, you know, working with Mazio Royster, working with um Mazio Royster is the stunt coordinator. That he's amazing. And but when I had the opportunity to work with
Right.
the cast was this, and are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Let's go. All legends. It was Matt Liner's rookie year.
Oh
It was
wow.
let's check this out. It was the year Michael Vick went to jail.
Wow.
It was literally like Mike Vick filmed that commercial, filmed the
Yeah.
second commercial because we did 2 commercials that summer.
Right.
And then after that, boom, he was in jail. Like the whole dog thing hit. And then we had Troy Polamalu, we had LaDainian Tomlinson, Brian Urlacher, Steve Young, Dick Vitale, Don Shula, Marlon Briscoe, who was the first black quarterback. Just a little history.
The
A
pressure
refrigerator,
was on.
yeah, Refrigerator Perry. We had Rupert Sanders as a director, the same Rupert Sanders who directed Snow White and the Henchmen. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, it was a studied commercial. All like all legends. Everybody in that commercial, I can honestly say Brian was is probably in the Hall of Fame. Straight up.
That's what's up. So from the commercial, you went on to do movies like Flirt, Quarantine, and you also did Black Boots. So how was that experience like?
Man, that was amazing. Well, what really led the way for me, like as far as my career goes, was it wasn't really the Flirt. That Flirt was that was my first movies working with Crystal. You know, those were the ultra low budget joints, and that was just us in Long Beach, you know what I'm saying, that were serious about the craft, that wanted to create and make. That's what Flirt was, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that production company because I did about 2 or 3 movies with them.
Right.
And then fast forward years later, um I had done a lot of stuff in between Black Boots. Black Boots was the turn of it all, but like I had did movies. One of my first major movies that I did on camera was actually with this guy behind me, was with Nip.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did. Like, and he and I, we had a scene together, and I never forget our conversation. It was like because I didn't know who at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Nip was,
Right.
and I'm talking about years.
Yeah.
It's like Bullets ain't got no names on it. Like
Right.
that first those mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? And I remember him coming up to me. The director Sean, he has put me on my mark. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna have you working with the principal cast." I was like, "Ain't no thing, it's whatever." I was like, "I just want you to have a conversation with him." So he came over. I was like, "Damn, that nigga tall." I was like,
Yeah.
you look like a light skinned Snoop." So he came over. He did. He came over. He was like, "All right, what's up, buddy?" He was like, "What's up?" He was like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Mike Strong, bro. What's your name?" "Oh, I'm Nip Hustle." And it never dawned on me. I really, when he said it, I was like
Yeah.
kind of like in the zone, and it didn't really stick. You know what I'm saying? But we had a conversation, but
Right.
this is what stuck. So he just kind of like a, awkward silence for a second. Then it was like, "Hey, how long you been doing this acting shit?" I was like, at the time, by like 4 or 5 years. And so he stopped, he paused, he turned his head, looked, and he looked down at me. He said, "Hey, let me ask you something." I was like, "What's up, bro?" I was like, "Is this acting shit lucrative?" Look, he said it to me just like that. And in
Yeah.
that moment, the way he said it, I knew he was a different cat. And so I looked at him again, and I was like, "As a matter of fact, it is." I said, "But that's if you're in control. It's if you're empowered. It's if you're in position. You know what I'm saying? It's really depending on how you look." And these are the things that I said to him, you know? Um, and he was like, "God, that's what's up." And we dapped up, and I was like, "So where you from?" He said, "I'm from Crenshaw." Like, whoa, we talked, you know what I'm saying, all that, and then we shot our scene. But that stuck with me. That stuck with me forever, for somebody to ask me how lucrative the business was of,
Right.
and then fast forward years later, it's like, I remember I was knocking, so I was like, he sounds familiar. I don't know who this dude is, but he
Yeah.
not. And boom, lo and behold, it was him. And then it all came together, and I became a fan. And I was just like, boom.
Wow.
And then boom. And then from that movie, we went to like plenty of like other things. And the Black Boots, when Black Boots came into the game, that was one of my best friends. Matter of fact, KJ Smith from Sisters.
Yeah.
KJ Smith from Sisters linked me up with Gino Brooks. Gino Brooks was the director and creator of Black Boots. And shout out to my whole Black Boots cast. But from Black Boots, that changed the game, because it was about frat life. It was about, fraternities, and it was about, the struggles and the real life of being a dean, or being, pledging and things like that. But as much as we could, were all created. And like the writer, what Gino did is he created a whole universe of a fraternity that took the internet by storm at that time. So from that moment, that on, in the acting world, that's where stuff got crazy. And at that time, I was actually still dancing.
Right. So that's where Black Magic kicks in, right?
Yeah.
And so
In prime time.
that's where the world was introduced to Prophet. So tell us how did you end up working with Vivica A. Fox?
Man, Viv, man, that was, I can honestly say, that was one of my biggest blessings of my life ever, having to be able to come. I know what a queen, I know what a Cleopatra, I know what a Michelle Obama type. I know what that's like, because I see it through Viv. You gotta understand. You're talking about somebody that's a legend. So I never took it like she's just someone that you get to know. That's somebody that you study. That's somebody that you learn. That woman's hustle is like nothing you've ever seen in your life. You
Exactly.
understand me? And so from that, when I first met her, and I sensed her vibe, or sensed her energy, like she and I, we became the best of friends. She's like my Hollywood godmother right now. You know what I'm saying? I check in with her. She tells, you know what I'm saying, all the things. She's gotten me jobs. She's gotten me, well, put it like this. She hasn't gotten me a job. What she does is she's put me in position for me to prove myself
Right.
in order to, you know what I'm saying, move forward. But she'll only put you in that position if she believes in you. And so
Yeah.
that's how things like really, really rolled. And when we shot Vivica's Black Magic, that experience was one of the biggest blessings and lessons of my life, because you know, Viv, she just monstered that whole thing. She monstered that whole thing, and then she just went on to keep doing more things and more things and more things and more things. And then she put me in position for a job some years later.
Okay. So, speaking of Vivica A. Fox and speaking of the small screen, so you went from the small screen to doing stage plays. So I know you did Redemption with Snoop Dogg, and you also did Two Can Play That Game, and you also did Set It Off. So how was the pressure, especially working with Viv, and those two are like her babies right there?
Yeah, that was like I said, the confidence and the belief that she had in me is all I needed. You know what I'm saying? Was really, really all I needed. I mean, I'm not a I mean, I'm not a, this is what I do. Let's just say that. Okay. Acting is what I do. It's just like if you throw the rock, if you throw the basketball, you know what I'm saying, to LeBron, what he gonna do? He gonna take it, he gonna look, he gonna stay, and he gonna rock out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He gonna train, he gonna do what he gotta do. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with me in the acting industry, or just entertainment period. Because I don't like to put myself in one like particular category. I'm a full-fledged entertainer. I can act, I can dance, all of the above. I can produce, I can create, I can write, I could film, I got an eye, things like that. So I really can't put myself in a box. With her, with Viv, she taught me to look at things for more than what they really are. So for example, on she told me, get that bread, make it do what it do, is what she tells me. And so like when we started doing Two Can Play That Game, that right there was my opportunity for the world to see me go on tour. But that was her believing in me, and you know, telling the rest of the production team, yo, this guy, he's solid. Woo, woo. They gave me the script. I went and watched the play on a Sunday, for example. I went and watched the play on a Sunday. She called me on a Wednesday. They flew me out on a Thursday.
Wow.
They shot me. They shot me a 119-page script on Wednesday. Thursday, I had my first rehearsal with Portia and Carl Payne and Gary Dudane and Brayley Evans, and like it was a studded ass cast. Like it was a studded cast. I'm like, damn. Like my best friend in the play was Cole. Was Carl Payne. And even now I see him around, like and it's all love. It's like, that's my big homie. He the one that gave me some of the best advice of my career. He told me, trust your instincts, because you naturally got them. And I was like,
so earlier you spoke about the mics being some of your influencers, and also we spoke about LeBron. So let's talk about Space Jam 2. So your character, Jim West, without giving the movie away, let's tell us about the movie and also how it intertwines with your childhood brother from watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Will Smith.
Hey, I'll tell you this, man. That experience right there, the Space Jam 2 legacy. First off, it comes out this July, you guys, man. You're not gonna want to miss it. It's gonna be a blast from the past. I didn't tell my family for like 2 years. It's like nobody really knew I worked that movie. I worked this movie like 2.5 years ago, you know, playing Jim West. And it was such a dream come true, because I always idolized Will Smith. Will Smith, to me, is a member of my family. And I say that not from a delusional standpoint, because you know, I didn't grow up with brothers, you know what I'm saying? And I always idolized Will Smith's, you know, saying funniness, mannerism, you know, way to turn a bad situation good. Uncle Phil was my father figure. Carlton was my square ass cousin. Hillary, you get what I'm saying? Like all of that. And then for me to actually be able to play Jim West, I'm talking about, they laced me. They gave me like I'm wait till y'all see this. You're gonna be like, damn, bro, you like really embodied big ass gun, everything.
Yeah.
Like I was Jim West. And so it that experience was like nothing you ever like you can't even if they I'd have did that shit for free. Free.
So you're a jack of all trades. You act, you dance, you're an entrepreneur. So tell us about your CMOS.
CMOS. Oh man, CMOS is I call it the one of the wonders of the world, man. CMOS is for those of you that don't know what it is, CMOS is an herb. This is my company, Strong CMOS and Herbs. What we do is we pay harvesters out there in Jamaica to go on the sea, cut it off of the coral reef, dry it, and send it to me to America, so I could be able to help my family and and my friends be healthy. This is a brand that I came up with. It used to be called something else. We just rebranded. It was called Mad Euphoria. Now I changed it to, of course, Strong CMOS and Herbs, because I want to be able to branch off and do other things. But but the biggest goal, what I'm saying, is to get this stuff into people. For example, you got the CMOS. We have CMOS gel. We have this formula right here is our most popular formula. This is CMOS bladderwrack and burdock, which gives your body all 102 minerals that you're made of. And it's the best thing about it is it's really been healing people. My goal is to make being healthy cool. A lot of people, we gratify a lot of stuff. We gratify, being a thug. We gratify smoking weed. We gratify all these different things. Nothing wrong with it, because it's all about perspective, and it's all about who you are, how you are, and the way you are. But my biggest thing was like, why can't I take that same approach of coolness or just flyness to just being healthy on the inside? You know what I mean? So I mean that means you live longer, you love longer, you last longer. Also, and I don't have it on me right now, but I have. If you check on my website, I actually have. I'm really big into fertility and sex too, as far as men's health, like prostate, women's libidos, and things like that. I also have an adult experience all natural capsule too as well that they can check out on the website. But that's all this thing is about, man. I found something that was really that would really help people. That I ship stuff to my grandmother, my mother, my cousins. I give it to my kids. I take it every day.
Yeah.
It changed the game for me. The inflammation in my knees. I blew my knees. I blew this right knee during Set It Off.
Wow.
That's what led me to it. I met a dude in I met Jahan Jones, one of Jahan Jones' best friends.
Yeah.
Out there in where was I? St. Louis. His name is Willie Lynch. Shout out to Willie Lynch, man, because he put me on the he's the one that put me on the Dr. Sebi. But then I realized, like, wait a minute, this is stuff my grandma been doing for years.
Right.
So I started educating myself a little bit more. I started taking the supplements and stuff that I bought from Willie, and I started feeling great. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute, what is this stuff? And I had strayed away from my training as a child. You know what I'm saying? The Golden Seals, and boom, that in that moment, it brought me back. And then me and my grandmother, we connected, and that's how I came up with a lot of this stuff, man.
Oh, I'm definitely ordering mine today. So for the viewers that are watching, where can they purchase it?
If you can just go on Strong CMOS in the letter N Herbs. Strong CMOS in Herbs.com. And it's the same thing on IG, Strong CMOS in Herbs, at Strong CMOS in Herbs on IG. Yeah, you can order anything that you want from there. If you suggestions, DMs, anything, any herb that a person might be interested in, they can order from there. And in the future, I want to go into cultivating. So in the next couple of years, I actually want to own a dispensary and all of that stuff, and have my own strand of weed.
I respect the hustle, bro, 100%.
Facts.
So what future projects do you have coming up?
Well, besides Space Jam, I just produced my first major project teamed up with Miss Michelle Sneed, Elon Johnson, and the one and only Tyler Perry himself. And I was a consultant producer on a new show coming to BET Plus. Ladies, you're not going to want to miss this one. It's called All the Queen's Men, starring Eva Marcel, along with Sky Black, aka Alvester, Jeremy Williams, aka Masterpiece. You got Dion, aka well, you'll find his name out when you get there. And we got my boy Keith Fatal Swift out of Detroit, and then we got my brother Michael. Well, everybody knows him as Bolo.
Oh, okay.
But
Housewives,
yeah, everybody know him as Bolo.
Yeah.
But that's Mike. We the Mikes, you know what I'm saying? But that's my guy, man. Got a lot of respect and love for, these guys. Definitely Masterpiece. His name is Jeremy Williams, but that's my little brother, my little big brother. We got those guys casted into this great project, and it's a twist. It has a great plot to a great twist. Christian Keys was the creator and writer. So Christian really he did 10 years of research on the male exotic industry and things like that, and he put together a hell of a story that when him and Mr. Perry got together, they made this. I personally think that this is going to be one of the #1 shows on BET, just because of the way it's shot. It's shot sexy. It is sexy. You have some of the sexiest people, you know what I'm saying? Eva, come on now. Like, you got Eva, like, she just oozes sexy.
Exactly.
She just, her, even just like she got this attitude about her that is like, you know what I'm saying? But it's real, it's raw, it's not fake. You know what I'm saying? And she, you know what I'm saying? She from the set. Like she really one of the ones that made it out. You know what I mean? She was really one of the ones. She went, matter of fact, I'll BS you not. She went to Washington High. If y'all anybody in LA know anything about Washington High, it's the Generals, man. That's where it's at. And it's right in the heart of the hood. It's actually right in the heart of the Hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My baby mama went there. So I know. You know what I'm saying? But that school itself has produced a lot of that high school has produced a lot of people we know today. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, big ups to them, and working with Deuce and working with, that whole Tyler Perry family was like one of the best experiences that I've had. And I can guarantee you, man, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this, a lot of patience. We survived COVID. We had, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rewrites. We added this, we added that. Listen to me. The energy that's been put into this is to be able to create something that TV hasn't seen. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. And I can guarantee this, because Mel Exotic will guarantee, mark my words on this. Mel Exotic will be a genre. Just like you have action, you have action, or just exotic will have its own genre, because you got beautiful shows like P Valley that are set in the bar. I'll be all the way honest with you. P Valley is set in the bar. But the cold part about it is our show is no conflict, is no answer, it wasn't anything. It's not an answer to P Valley whatsoever. So a lot of people put it in that box. A lot of people gonna put it in that box, but this ain't what that was. This was already in the making before P Valley was even a thought. You know what I'm saying?
So before we wrap up, what would you like to tell all of your supporters?
Oh man, to all my supporters, man, I really just want to say I really appreciate y'all, because it's one thing to be a fan of somebody's craft, but it's another thing to stick with them and support them through all these years. I've probably came onto the scene about 2014, 2015, and to be able to stick around strong, even besides all my other accolades and everything, but millions of people now knowing who I am. My best advice to you guys is to never give up. My mentor told me something when I was growing up. He said, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I just feel like every time somebody gives me an opportunity or to display the things that God, the gift that God gave me, don't play with that. You get what I'm saying? And another thing, another quote that I live by is, you can't tell me the sky's the limit when there's footsteps on the moon.
I like that.
You know what I mean? For real.
I like that.
Like, and the reason, if you really think about it, like a lot of people put a cap on themselves.
Right.
Sometimes I gotta uncap myself, and it's like because I find myself naturally capping myself because of society, born to win, conditioned to fail.
Yeah.
Real thing. You know what I'm saying? That is a real thing. I'm dyslexic. You know what I'm saying? I'm dyslexic. People don't know that. You'll never know that. You know, I'm ADHD.
Yeah.
You never know that. You know what I'm saying? I've overcome my challenges. So you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I moved out here in LA, $45 in my pocket and a 6-month-old baby. You understand? My daughter, 18-year-old now, she's a Star Trek athlete. She is the foot in my ass if need be.
Yeah.
And she's my biggest lessons outside of all of my children. But my oldest daughter and my oldest daughters and my sons, who are like right here with me,
yeah,
are they're the driving force. So fans, supporters, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever it is, however it is that you choose to live, if it feels right in your heart, roll with it. You know the difference between right and wrong. We know what's good, we know what's bad. But if your heart says, okay, I want to make the baddest toothpicks this side of the Mississippi, and that's something that you believe in, damn it, do it.
Perfect.
Believe in it.
And thank you so much for taking the time out. And I look forward to all of your future projects. And trust me, we will have a second interview once your other project drop.
Absolutely, man. And
Yes.
I also got to hand that back to you too, man. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on your platform, because this growing in the entertainment industry is a very, very organic thing. It's planting seeds, and this is another seed planted, and there will be no notoriety for people like myself that come from the bottom if you, like, people like you don't provide these particular platforms. And that is what I like genuinely appreciate. And these are the type of things when you get on your knees at night and you pray, you know what I'm saying, you pray for people to make an impact on people. Well, you can't do it by yourself. You see what I'm saying?
And I appreciate that. And also, I want to thank you, because it's people like you that give us our job and our platform as well. So it's teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork make the dream work,
Yes,
man.
no problem. And thank you so much, okay?
All right, man. My pleasure, man.
Appreciate it. All right.
All right, we on. Yeah. Everything good now?
I'm about to end it and see, and then it's gonna download.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, man. We all good, man.
Yep.
Brian she got all my info. Got all yours. If I'm in the A, man, I'm gonna bang your line or something, or me and I'll let Brian know that we out there. I'm gonna be out there because I need to know where it's at out there when I go out there.
Oh, I got you, bro. Most definitely.
Oh yeah. All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks.